so expensive to raise this animal until she enters the milking herd. This is a really great question of why do we utilize so much beef? That one really has a beef attitude. Why do we utilize so much beef on our farm? So let's get into it. So why wouldn't we just breed all of our dairy animals to dairy bulls and then end up with more dairy calves? Because a beef cross calf is much more valuable in our current markets than what a dairy animal is. And we are maintaining a fixed herd size. So we are not growing our herd. We are very much aware of how many heifer calves we need born every single month in order to maintain our herd size. So it doesn't make sense for us to raise like extra animals that aren't going to have the value that a beef cross calf would. So through excellent management of our cows, excellent rearing of our heifers, our death loss is next to zero. I think it's less than 0.5% on our calves. We do an excellent job, and I'm not saying that to sound braggy or like be super conceited, but when you have excellent management, excellent reproduction, you are able to use fewer resources. Again, we're being more green that way, right? We are being more efficient, utilizing less resources, raising fewer animals, and really raising animals from our most profitable and best genetic individuals. So through genomic testing, which we take a tiny little sample, I have other videos on that, from the ear, when the calf is born, we are able to identify our elite females who aren't even in the milking herd. But we know who will get bred to sex semen, we know who will get beef semen, and we are just constantly advancing the herd and only producing what we need. Super efficient. You might have heard a cat yelling in my video, and this is said cat. He wants back in the barn, and they need to start learning to be outside. So I kick him out in the daytime, except she's like one of my favorites. So a little bit of special attention, but he pissed. He's very pissed that he's outside. But isn't that what people want, is for all the animals to be outside and not inside? It's ironic, isn't it? That he wants to be inside. Who would have thunk? So that means that we are keeping every single female that is born on the farm, unless for some reason her genomic test, hi Snapchat, would tell us something different. What are you doing? You behave. But we very, very rarely will sell a heifer before she enters the milking herd. I would love to grow the milking herd one day, but it is important to note that for us, we sell our milk to Prairie Farms. We are Prairie Farms co-op members, and we operate basically within a quota system. We have a base number of pounds that we are not to exceed, or else we do get deductions. We don't get paid as much for that milk. So it's very much beneficial for us to stay at the size that we are and be as efficient and productive as we can at our current size. The bottom line is that raising replacement heifers is super expensive. Here's this little gal was just born a little bit ago. She just drank her colostrum. We're gonna dehorn her using a paste, but it's so expensive to raise this animal until she enters the milking herd. She's going to be 2 years old before we ever see any income produced out of her. And it's going to take a lactation and a half to 2 lactations before she really is paying off what it costs to raise her. I can't quote the exact number, but I think the more recent data I've seen, it's gone down a little bit because feed costs are down. Commodity prices are just cheaper. But it's $2,300 to $2,500 to raise a calf before she enters the milking herd. So it's very, very important that we are very cognizant of watching our expenses and raising healthy animals that are just gonna be bombastic someday, right? Yeah, you're so cute. What a classic little Holstein.